Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Explosive Combination. It is the date of 2012, 10/31 in reverse order. Why? Because I feel that way today. Today we're going to be talking about some very interesting topics, but first I will introduce our hosts. I'm Chris.
I'm Luke.
And I'm Chris.
And we are back with you for another exciting episode. Damn, this is gonna be fun.
And not as disjointed as last week.
No, we actually have a room this time, which is very nice.
We hope. Warning, this may end up horrible.
We're doing this... Sorry, do you want to say how we're doing this today? Because we're doing this early.
Are we doing this early?
We are doing this early. We usually record on a Friday, but because of...
Well, the internet
issues,
won't know.
Yeah,
No, I reckon we should say. Because, I mean, this may...
Alright, fine. We're doing this on a Friday, as you can tell from the date.
Friday? No.
Sorry, we're doing this on a Wednesday, which you can tell from the date.
We're so together.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's really a bromance in here. Haha. Anyway, so... Each of us is going to be talking about different topics. I'm going to be bringing up some stuff about AI again. Not that I can actually remember my topics at the moment, but I'll remember. Luke is going to be talking about...
Should governments restrict science?
I like that one. That's a yummy topic. And Chris is going to be talking about...
The future.
The future! Which is very cool.
Well, it's basically continuing, or starting what I mentioned last week.
Yes, because we never really got around to
we
that.
never got to
I was intending for the Half-Life 2 bit to just be a brief look at it.
Oh, so
and then
brief
do the future.
It was so brief.
No, you guys started taking it apart and like running with it. It's like, okay.
We do that. What do you expect?
That's explosive combination for you.
No, so this time I know if there's a slight topic, I'm only going to mention it. Leave half an hour for it.
Okay.
There's a few other things I want to talk to you guys about, but we probably won't get to it.
Well, if they're kind of brief, then why don't you mention them first, and then we talk
we'll
about
see.
the future. All right, so I'm going to be going first, and then it will be Luke, and then it will be Chris. Yes.
So
We had this all sorted out beforehand. Trust me, guys.
We did?
Oh yeah, totally.
They don't know about that.
About what?
Exactly.
What?
The magic of editing for our dear listeners at home.
Yes. The magic of time.
So AI again. AI. Gosh, it's a massive topic.
So what is that? Pirate robots now?
Firstly,
11011.
It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye, and then it's pirates.
Someone loses a bite.
So, firstly, what did you mean by it's not possible to make a more perfect human?
Someone can only create something as good as themselves.
Are you sure?
In central respect.
Because
yes, we can make structures that are stronger than ourselves, but can we make anything smarter than ourselves? To make something smarter than ourselves, you need to be smart enough to make it smarter than ourselves. But
what about your children? They may be smarter than you. You created them, and yet they could be smarter than you. Although they're human, aren't they?
well, yes,
You can make them morally perfect.
Morally, okay. Wow, that's big. Okay, define morality.
Yes. No.
Here we go. Oh dear, here we go.
Have I just created a huge 3 weeks long subject?
What you have done is just entered into
I gave you a
realm
topic
of every philosopher ever. Okay, define
No.
define morality. Oh dear.
It's more making decisions that I suppose produce. This isn't morality. It's you can make a robot that creates the best or does the best action to provide the best solution or the best outcome.
Yes.
A human wouldn't necessarily do that.
but that's being logical. That's not sheer.
Precisely, you can make a robot more logical.
Yeah, and that's
more
also
perfect.
not moral. Why did you mention moral?
No, I think more of what it was trying to get at was, as he said, creating a robot that can define and detect and figure out what would be the best possible solution for any given situation. Say someone is trapped in a car, and it's
Now back to iRobot.
Yeah. Let's use iRobot for example. Two people are trapped in a car. One's a young child. One's a grown adult. A robot can look at that situation and say the grown adult is going to survive longer and it has a better chance of survival than the young child. Therefore, I should rescue the grown adult.
But that's just a purely logical one.
Yeah, that's a purely logical decision.
Yeah,
that's one of the problems. It's
morality.
really hard to. I would say it's nigh impossible.
That one's hard to justify with a human.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
so it's-
Because, to be fair, most human rescuers would go for the small child first, because that's our natural human empathy and sympathy for the person. And, in the movie I, Robot, if you have watched it...
He's very upset.
Yeah, Will Smith is
fair
carries the fact that the robot saved him, not the little girl, with him for the rest of his life, which fuels his prejudice for robots. And
Damn robots.
Yeah, damn robots. And my thing is, how would you actually program morality into a robot? How would you actually program the ability to discern what is right and wrong?
Well, morality is a logical function of humans to determine good for our race or bad for our race.
Really? Always logical?
Well,
I would say
emotions come into it, which then
emotions
skew
are
it.
physical.
And
Every single thing that we do is because of a physical response, including our morality. Morality is a human construct. It's one of these conceptual things that we are now capable of doing.
it's physical.
So, yeah, you could give a robot morality, but it would have to have a processor as complicated as a human brain.
No, but
But also, its morality may be different from ours, because its reasons may be different. Also, the other week when you were saying that they could destroy all humanity, why would they destroy all humanity? You said to test and da-da-da. Why are they curious? Did you program curiosity into the robot?
No, it was more programming and learning, and
Learning, and
the
it would
learning
have to have curiosity.
by
in order to
logic,
learn.
it would then
But
it would then
if
want to
you-
seek out all the answers.
Not necessarily. If you program something that is now capable of altering its own structure, learning as a human does, that doesn't mean that it will have the drive to go and learn. It just means that it's capable of it.
You could have the hard drive to do so.
Ha! That was quite good.
That's actually really good.
All right, so
Used what
we
was
were
at my
saying, physical responses, everything down to human body as complex as a human.
you
Go.
say it's all physical responses, but
Yeah.
I would like to think that this is more a
Emotions
personal
can-
aspect. I would like to think that emotions are a bit more than just physical responses, and
They're not. They're literally
No, but
chemicals
everyone
and
has their
impulses
own
going on in their brain.
Everyone has their own chemical balance.
Yes, absolutely.
and everybody is pretty much impossible to replicate. For example,
Exactly.
Even if I made a
Not
clone
impossible, but close.
It would be impossible.
completely different.
of you, he would still be completely different. He would still think different things. He would still, in the same situation, he may choose a different outcome.
And link different
And-
things to different chemical balances.
Yeah, sure. No, everybody is absolutely unique. Yeah, sure.
Though, would the robots be absolutely unique?
Well, if you
They
made
would all
them
be
differently,
human?
yes.
Depending on how you
Or
program
what you
them.
could do is you
And
could
depending
have
on what the structure was like.
essentially a random number generator.
Yeah, you can introduce randomness.
So then each
So
one
just
would
have
be
a dice
different.
in the middle of the robot.
pretty much.
every now and then when it needs to make an important decision, flick the dice, ding, ding, ding. Oh, I rolled a 6.
Has a D20 in the little chamber in its chest. every time that something happens, it just pops the dice.
Would you like a burrito or a wrap? One moment, let me use the die of power. Natural 20, give me a burrito.
It's the
I
best
want
tasting
someone to
burrito
build a
ever.
robot like that. Please do.
I'll work on that.
I've stopped bringing my D20.
You should. You
Yeah,
should.
I know.
It's used for making
I,
all
I
sorts
used
of
to
decisions.
put it in my top jacket pocket, but now it's
Summer here, I don't have a jacket.
Aww. Yes,
And I'm
the trials and
filling up my-
tribulations of summer.
And I'm filling up
America.
my pockets. So I
like
started
summer.
putting pens and paper and an
summer
eraser
is-
in
yeah.
my pocket. It's kind of blocking
Summer,
that.
yeah, although I must say this.
Summer is nice, personally, but I have this internal grudge against the sun. It hates me and I hate it.
Well, it's quite volatile.
Why?
Without it, you would not exist.
Yes, but
Yeah.
every time I go outside, it feels I need to burn me excessively.
That which loves us, the sun, is also our end.
Yes. I'm saying what? I'm about as white as a snowman, I guess. So, if I go
And the
outside,
sun is just as harmful.
yeah, and as soon as if I go outside for anything more than 30 minutes, like a snowman, I will begin to melt.
I can just picture you going.
It's like we walk outside, there's just a puddle. Hey, look! Just keep walking.
Yeah, basically,
It
yes.
starts to slide along the ground.
And
Does
this is
worm
not
thing.
helped by the fact that I basically refuse to wear shorts most of the time because I really like
Why
jeans.
not?
I like jeans.
Shorts are
likes
so
them.
much cooler.
They're free, but I
Yeah.
don't like to wear my jeans.
I don't like wearing. I like wearing shorts at home, but that's about it.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
No, the only time I wear shorts is when I'm down at the beach.
How do you survive?
A lot and lot of
I
sunblock.
go to the beach.
Dude, gee, I could not imagine having come to. If I had come to uni today, in jeans, I would just be sweating like a pig. Way too. No, I have. You guys are nuts.
Can I just say?
Well, actually,
can I
this
just
is-
say?
this is
That's
majority.
nothing.
This is kind of majority though. So
Yeah.
but then again, look,
Majority of
that's
3.
fine.
Welcome to Australia. Land of the board shorts. Seriously, board shorts, guys. Come on.
What about board shorts?
Wear board shorts.
If I'm going swimming, then I will. But
Yeah.
otherwise, no. I have no
Great.
use for them. Plus,
Oh.
I don't want to put my phone in board shorts.
I put my phone in board shorts. It works out fine.
Yeah, but one
I've
of my
gone swimming
friends
3
was
times and lost 3 phones that way, but...
See, that
I do not trust my
But there's no
electronics.
problem with putting your phone in board shorts.
No, on 3 consecutive weeks with the same model of phone each time.
I do
Was
not
it a new phone each time?
Yes.
I do not trust my electronics to anything other than my bag and my jean pockets. To be perfectly honest.
No, heat. No, can't stand it. And I really like winter because you can be all cuddly and nice in winter. You know, you can snug up.
To be fair, I prefer winter because
No,
I
I
do
love
like-
to ski.
And
What
then
I
in
would
summer,
love is
you can't.
hot days with cold nights. So I want to live in the desert.
Good luck with that.
Cold nights.
No, cold nights, because then you can rug up in a doona
Yeah, you
and be
can
all
sort of
snuggly then.
snuggle.
But you still get the nice hot day that will burn you to a crisp.
But what about the morning?
What about the morning?
The morning would suck if you're waking up in a dune and then all of a sudden your pants are on fire. Because, it's 50 degrees outside, the sun's coming.
I
it's
don't
like,
sleep with flint and steel.
Let me tell you from experience, sometimes it is very nice to wake up with your pants on fire.
How? Okay,
Don't
you...
ask.
No, no, no.
Ask.
No,
Do
when...
not ask. We don't want to know.
I
Continuing
genuinely
on.
do.
No.
Literally fire.
Literally, it feels like you're burning.
Okay, you
As
said...
in, there
so
was
it's
a-
not there is literal fire on
no,
your
no.
pants.
This is why I
No,
say
no,
without
that's-
going there.
No, that's all I wanted to know, because then it's more understandable.
No,
I understood
there,
it perfectly fine.
there was a
No, but if it's like literal
substantial
fire, it's like you set your pants on
of
fire.
What's it called?
Hummus.
It's the same kind of stuff that's in Tiger Balm or Vapor Rub, whatever the active ingredient is. And then
Yeah.
we had like
Oh,
this
right.
big jug of
That's
it,
well known,
diluted
yeah.
stuff. And I was sleeping there, and I didn't have any doonas or anything. I just had my little sheet. And as somebody was walking past with this pot, they slipped and they drenched my pants in it under the sheet. And then, the waking up was very interesting. I was like, oh, it's so warm. Oh, that feels so nice. Oh, that's interesting. That's starting to. Oh, my legs are on fire!
And you have now just deafened all the listeners at home with a story about your pants being on fire.
Pants on fire.
I apologize. Well, I would like to apologize, but this is really what we do.
Every time somebody lies, you should just pour Tiger Balm down their pants.
Hot tip for those at home.
No. Pour petrol down their pants and then light a match.
That's a horrible thing to do.
Why would you even suggest that?
That's mean.
Because then it's literal fire.
You're a terrible person.
Yes, I am.
I think the metaphorical fire is fine enough. Are we going to go back to AI?
Yeah, we should probably
Oh, yes,
round
AI,
this.
okay.
Wait, would we be able to circle it round somehow and
I
make a
I
loop,
don't
or just
think so. I think
or just drift apart?
I
and
don't
then
know what AI has to do
back
with your pants being on fire.
So,
robots could set your pants on fire.
in terms of the curiosity and testing how humans react to things, that could possibly say, I am
they could
dreading
accidentally
one day.
spark.
One day,
And
no,
the spark.
no, they can't spark. Robots don't spark.
What if it's a flint and steel robot? Learning how they work.
Oh no!
It's made of flint, and its sort of casing is made of steel, and it goes zoom. Sets things on
So what
sets things on fire.
Just by
So
just
we've got the cave. We've got the cave
Cave
robot.
robot.
Yeah, that
Cave
just
bot.
sets things on fire for curiosity's sake.
I'm dreading this day.
With hands of flint and steel, which are both incredibly impractical and at the same time hilarious.
Anyway, okay,
Because-
now we're back on robots.
I am building my little.
Flint and
At the
steel
moment,
robot.
it's just a program, and slowly it will get more complicated and introduce more and more AI type of programming, and slowly, it will become a useful robot. It's my house, and I'm calling it Ralph.
Jarvis.
No,
What's
I'm
his
calling
name?
it Ralph.
Ralph. Why Ralph?
Well,
Is it an acronym or something?
Well, firstly, because I just thought of the name Ralph, and then I justified it.
Okay.
Robot Alpha Ralph.
That's literally two of the letters.
That's Rolf.
That's Rolf.
Rolf.
What's the rest of
R.
the...
Alf. Ralph. Forget the A. I only justified it afterwards, so it doesn't need to make sense.
No, its last name is A.
See, I've got a better
A.
Ralph Alexander.
Okay, now
I've got a better name for the robot house though.
Ralph Andrews. My house is a robot, not a robot house.
Yeah.
It's a house that is a robot.
House.
No. Bruh.
I've got a better name. Hal.
House artificial life. House augmentation. Something. House what?
HMIA. Homemade artificial intelligence.
Ha! It's homemade.
Human advanced life support.
It's so it's slowly getting more complicated.
House?
No.
HAL, human advanced life support. Anyway, so it's slowly getting more complicated, and I'm starting to build a kind of robot body for it, because I do want it to be able to do stuff and pick things up and walk around instead of... at the moment it just reminds me of things.
Okay.
So it's like a massive stopwatch effectively, and it reminds me of what's happening, and I've also got a little program that searches on the internet to find news articles that are interesting to me, and then it tells me that in the morning when I wake up.
Would you want the robot to follow you outside of the house?
Well, it won't be able to do that at the moment because it
No,
requires...
would you want to?
Eventually, yes, but I don't have the tech to do that because my robot is currently, a small CPU dedicated, and it can't move from the house because it's just too big.
What I was thinking, a long time ago I had an idea of a AI robot thing, but it was attached to the ceiling. And it was essentially just a giant arm. And it could move around the house on tracks.
That's a lot of
attached to the ceiling. And
Especially
it would just be
if it's a
giant
multi-level
house.
A multi-level house, what are those? That'd be fun going up the stairs.
What I have decided to do, and I've almost finished designing it,
You've decided something.
is that it won't go up the stairs. It will have something very similar to those wheelchair assist systems up the stairs. So all it will do is it will walk up to the handrail, and it will attach itself to the handrail and just zoom up the handrail instead.
Oh, give it those the tri-wheel things that are on.
No, they're horrible. It's disgusting. Ew, yuck. And mine's got 4 legs anyway.
4 legs?
Yeah.
Is it a dog?
Give it 6 legs.
As in, it's got 2 like this, and then usually it just sort of walks. Well, it walks and sort of wheels around. But then if it needs to go upstairs, it can split.
Give it 6 legs.
Having say it's got 2 like this gives nobody who's listening any idea
That's true.
what it looks like.
It's got 2 pairs of legs, one on each side, and you can't really tell that each one is actually 2 legs, but it is capable of splitting its 2 legs for more stability or for more balance, depending on what it has to do.
Next up on Robots in Disguise,
Okay.
yeah.
What? Are you going to say something?
That was meant to be a Transformers reference, but I didn't quite get there.
No.
Fell short.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
So robots becoming an integral part of humanity.
I think that's inevitable, yeah.
Have either of you seen Blade Runner?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
but I can't remember it, unfortunately.
No.
I can't remember.
I've watched it fairly recently, so I can remember it quite well.
Watched it yesterday.
I've got to
My brother
watch
has
it
to do
again.
it for the HSC.
Actually,
And
no.
I love Blade Runner, so I get to watch it with him. And he goes, you kept saying that this was such a good movie. I go, yeah. It's a really weird movie.
It is.
I thought to myself, no it isn't. And he said, well, this happens, this happens, this happens. And I thought, oh yeah, it really is a weird movie, isn't it? It's a good movie, though.
It is honestly a very weird movie.
It's good science fiction.
Yeah, it's good.
That is good science fiction. All right. Any
Why is
comments
everyone... You guys keep glancing over to me as if I...
on...
Well, we expect you to have something to talk about.
Well, yes, but I'm saving it.
Well, Dave, what have you brought to the conversation?
A shotgun.
Aww.
Oh, dear.
Goodbye, Hal.
Goodbye, Hal. This is Glados' little cousin.
Oh, no.
Actually, quick question. If you would be trapped in a room, who would you rather be trapped in a room with?
Hal
or GLaDOS?
Oh, I would. Oh, and you can't escape.
Wait,
I would choose.
define the room.
Yeah, define. Yeah, this is. Ooh, that's a big question. Go.
Define the room.
Give us some more parameters.
The
to work
aperture
with.
science rooms that, with the panels and that kind of stuff, stuff that
Hal.
can... Hal?
Hal.
Yeah, because it runs on different systems.
Yep, it's all completely independent, and he wouldn't be able to kill me. Yes.
Okay, then. They're both in their own respective rooms. And his
Hal
face
again.
just fell.
Hal again.
Why?
Because I know how to deactivate him.
Yeah, okay. What about you?
Although Glados would be more fun, and you get a portal gun.
No, what do you get? What do you get? Do you get
Life.
anything, or do you just
survive.
get... No, do you get anything, or just
you get
the
stuck
room?
in the room with their respective rooms with either one of them. You know, whatever happens in there is up to them.
And?
Yeah.
Is it in the same scenario, or are we assuming that you are either in 2001: Space Odyssey or in Portal?
Basically, yes.
I would take 2001: Space Odyssey.
I want a companion cube. I just like... cube.
I would personally choose GLaDOS
That is
because
not how you use that.
because whilst
Please
GLaDOS
stop.
whilst GLaDOS is kind of psychotic, she doesn't exactly want to kill me because she wants to keep on testing. Aha. Therefore, I'm more likely to survive if I try to go through GLaDOS.
Yes, but I'm guaranteed survival if I go through Hal because I know what to do.
Assuming that you don't know what to do. Assuming that someone's actually gone along
Do
and
I
programmed
have
it properly.
an EMP?
No.
If somebody programmed it properly, it wouldn't have broken down.
Oh, good point. And no, you do not have an EMP.
That would be a terrible idea on
Yeah,
a
I know.
spaceship.
No, it wouldn't. It would be a perfectly valid idea. Haven't you seen The Matrix?
We're going to activate this EMP and wipe out all the Sentinels. Yay! Ship immediately crashes after EMP.
Well, pretty much. They have to turn it off.
Yeah.
They have to park it.
Thing is, though, an EMP, even in a modern EMP, as in a real-life EMP, even if the system is turned off, it still destroys the circuitry.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you parked your ship,
Yeah.
if you weren't using photonics, it would still blow it up.
Yep.
I love the idea of photonic circuitry.
It's
Which
quite
isn't actually
fun.
circuitry anymore. So photonic technology, that's just great.
I like F equals MA.
Okay.
Just throw an equation out there, you know, just because.
No, but I like... no, sine.
Horrible math
sine.
joke is horrible.
Theta.
Just
Yeah.
cause sine theta.
Okay.
Just cause tan can.
Okay, stop now.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
Yes, moving along. Not that that was really kind of AI.
So,
style.
we've gone weird.
That's okay.
We
that's
go
what's
on
that's
tangents.
that is
This
what
is
is
what-
supposed to happen.
Yeah, we
Yes.
go on tangents. We
Because
do
it is
these
an
things.
explosive combination.
Weird.
Exactly.
I'm doing the hour movements.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
The big
I-
word, weird.
So stop copying Movie Bob.
Oh, yeah, it's... No, he does it differently. He does
Yeah.
he does it better.
Well, good point. He has like big presentation flashback. Anyway, I think we should move on to our
Yes, who's
second
next?
topic.
Second topic already?
Yep.
You're up.
No, I'm third topic.
Who's up then?
Oh, I'm second
And
topic.
Yes.
Come on, Luke.
Oh, okay.
Keep it together.
You just like being last.
Okay, moving on to our second topic. What do you guys think about science being regulated by the government?
Shouldn't be.
It depends on what science it is.
Mm.
It depends on what's going on. I do think that the government is
pursuit of advancement
absolutely
in greater
necessary
understanding.
to be there to stop people from doing things that they shouldn't do.
I reckon
For
that should be a
instance.
separate entity altogether.
What should be a separate entity?
Well, that should be scientific research or scientists and stuff should be a separate entity from governments, all governments. And then there should be another separate entity
The government.
that is controlled by the governments to see if they're going outside of certain parameters.
Yeah. But what exactly do you
But
mean
how-
by governments controlling the direction of science?
I mean, what
Well, it's all based on
what we
funding.
generally have at the moment. You know, the government has certain laws that restrict what kind of experiments that can be done. Some of which are perfectly reasonable. For example, no human experimentation. I think
That's
that's
fair
a
enough.
good thing. Yeah.
It depends on the experiment.
Like
if it's like
social
as
putting
in-
them in a
when
certain environment as a social experiment,
When I say human experiments,
Yeah, but
I'm
even
generally
so-
referring to the kind which aren't good.
yeah. Just making
Otherwise,
that
it's
clear.
more. Yeah. Otherwise, it's social
If
experiments.
social experiments are fine.
Yeah. Social
Not
experiments.
all of them aren't.
Certain social
There's a
experiments
reason
are
that we
fine.
have an ethics committee.
Stuff ethics.
Well, and that's why we
Stuff
should
ethics.
have a
Stuff
government to
morality.
regulate that, so that people don't go.
No, so
stuff
that's
ethics.
so that's how I think it should work. It should be like the UN. There should be a science. I don't know. organization, I suppose. Which, hey, give me my bottle back. There should be a science body which contains all scientists, all research, which aren't as restricted as they are today. The only restrictions being that which are very, or slight restrictions on certain morality areas and ethics that are imposed upon it by a body, another organization, which is run by all the governments of the world.
Okay.
So are you talking specifically about the regulation in terms of ethics, or are there other things?
No,
that are
just
also being
government in
regulated?
general. So, should government be deciding which direction our science goes in?
Well, the government doesn't decide which direction our government goes in.
They do
and-
through funding.
Yeah, but the government is such
Therefore-
a tiny donor in terms of science. What they do is
Are
they...
you sure? Because
Yeah.
some research facilities are run basically on government money, and they do some fairly important research.
Government grants and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
The only reason they survive is because they have other government funding or military funding, which is, I wouldn't exactly say is exactly the same thing, but it kind of is the same, as it were.
You've essentially got to be working in a field which
Yeah.
the government will say, yes, we can use this.
Well, yeah, exactly, but that's not the government dictating where science
pretty
is
much
going to
is.
go.
It
No,
kind of
it's
is.
science, it's the government fulfilling its needs.
Yeah, but it
That's
should
not
delve
regulation.
into
Other areas which may not necessarily
Yeah, but if it
be
can't-
for direct benefit.
Yeah, but if it can't use those other areas, then why bother?
Well,
Because
see,
it's
the government
pursuit of knowledge.
See, one
and
of the-
understanding of everything.
one of the things I
Yes, but
find
the
is
government isn't responsible for that.
Can I
Should
just
be.
say, one of the things I
Actually,
find.
no, it shouldn't be. It should.
Stop cutting me off, okay?
Maybe you're trying to interrupt me.
Actually, yeah, you are in this case. But go on.
I really wasn't. I was
We were
trying to
having a
start the
heated
conversation first, but.
That was a heated discussion between us.
And then you just
Yes,
jumped
yes,
in.
indeed. yes.
Anyway. But to be fair, pretty much no science is useless because many important discoveries have come off basic accidents or in research into, completely
Peripheral
separate
stuff.
things.
Geology.
Yeah.
Oh, geologists. The
No,
rock
no,
people. We
like
love you.
geology.
We do. Oh, yeah, we actually do. By the way, all of you geologists listening, we do actually really like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're cool rock people.
Thank you.
Unlike the dirt
Thank you
people.
for
Geology rocks. Sorry, I had to do that. I'm sorry, please don't kill me.
Are we allowed to shoot him? Please say we're allowed to shoot
I
him.
believe so. Non-lethally, but yes.
Oh,
Oh,
that's no point.
steroids?
then. Anyway, so
Performance
should
enhancing
the
drugs.
government here's a more direct way of phrasing the question. Should the government decide what to fund, or should the government give a certain amount of funding overall to everything?
Well, a government is a business fighting for its own survival, by definition. So,
And is fundamentally flawed.
well, as all things are, except, the number one. But anyway, so if you want to say, look, government, take all of your money and give it away to people that will give you absolutely no return, there's no point. It's always a business proposition. What return can you get for your money? And in terms of a government, yeah, okay, doing some peripheral research is good, obviously, but the chance of there being a major and economically viable discovery, as in something that is useful, is small.
It's small for pretty much everything.
Well, not for everything. I mean, medicine is
actually-
very direct.
Actually, yeah, true. But medicine's very direct. But quite a lot of research that goes into medicine these days is kind of like mollifying rather than actually solving some problems.
Mollifying.
Research into the new antibiotics and that kind of stuff, which is basically continuous because you always need new antibiotics. Yet at the same time, it's not actually curing the disease because the disease will instead evolve and grow to be beyond that antibiotic.
Superbug.
Yeah, so the superbug example. And that said, there are definitely a lot of people who do a lot of research into stuff like how to cure cancer, how to permanently get rid of these kind of diseases, all sorts of stuff. Yeah?
I vote space.
Everybody
Yeah.
votes space.
Actually, yeah, one thing that I do reckon government should, well,
I
If
want
governments
Star
are gonna-
Trek now.
yeah, if governments are going to have
I
control
want worlds
over,
now.
yeah, if governments are going to have control over science, could they at least fund space travel seriously?
Well, when we fund space travel, that will essentially pay for itself once we get to other worlds and start
Yeah.
mining the resources from them. We're pretty much then sold for economics.
long term.
I mean, sure, things will adjust, but once we've got space
All of
travel under our
the
belts-
economists right now are cringing. We are solved for economics.
yes, economics is no longer needed. No,
You know the stock exchange gone.
no. The point is,
That's not economics.
everything
It kind of is.
to
It
build
is.
other things
No, it
would
isn't.
become cheaper.
Yeah, sure.
So
If you
that
could
will
get
then
there and come back.
yes. So that's why we need to put research into space. Then we get what we need. We have more of what we need. We bring it back, and it's just suddenly we have a wider surplus
Yes.
of resources, which would then benefit us hugely in the areas of research.
It would be massive.
Oh yeah, it would help us to no end. And don't touch my bottle.
I like touching
You're
it.
really touchy about that, aren't you?
Yes, I'm touchy about people touching my stuff. So that is really where we should be focusing, I think, at the moment. Expanding our bases, building more farms.
I'm saying I'm just looking it up quickly. You know, the planet Mars,
Ours.
which basically doesn't have that much use in terms of life support. To be fair,
Well, life support isn't that hard to fabricate.
yeah, but you know, actually permanently living on Mars, unless we theoretically terraform the whole planet,
Or just use robotics.
or yeah,
Or
but
we
even that,
live
lab
in
up there.
domes.
Biodome!
I'm saying live rather than, just send robots in to live for us. Yeah, but even Mars, say if you funded enough travel into Mars, you could eventually get the mining companies there.
Well, the mining companies
The trick is to get to
are,
space.
some of them
easier.
are working on stuff.
Yeah. Because to
don't
be
know the
fair,
specifics
if
about
you
that.
went across and mined Mars, I'm not 100% sure of what the material composition of Mars is, and that if there's a scientist
Rock.
listening who can, if there's a scientist listening, could you post it in the comments below
Oh,
or
it'll
something?
Think
Or
about,
just-
probably be online
or just
somewhere.
just shout us out and say you're wrong.
Stop.
but think about
just with
how
people who
much
touch my
of
stuff.
Earth we have mined.
Bugger all.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now imagine going to Mars where you don't
And
need
just
to worry
being
about
completely
anything.
indiscriminate.
The problem is we live here.
No, so we can't do that to Mars, obviously, but I'm talking about another planet. Say,
So
Alpha
if we just
Centauri. No, that's
destroy-
a star. Never mind.
Wait.
Mine
What,
stars.
what,
that
what do you
last
mean? We,
week, didn't
what do you mean we can't do that to Mars?
We live next to it.
No, we
Yeah.
want
We
a
don't
planet
want to
that's
destabilize that planet or
I'm-
this solar system.
I'm
because then
not
it will
su-
screw up our orbits.
I'm not suggesting we destabilize Mars. I'm suggesting we mine Mars like we mine Earth.
Yeah, sure, but I'm
It's
saying that
maybe a bit more liberal, but not to the point where we send Mars crashing into Earth. That would be stupid.
it would be
Let us
hilarious.
mine the moon.
No, we are not.
I remember somebody proposed that years ago.
Let's
They said we
deorbit it,
should
bring it
mine
to
the
Earth,
moon.
and then mine it.
You're not allowed to do that, actually. The UN...
No,
Main
the
thing,
moon is
isn't it?
technically
See, now, why
owned
does
by
the
everyone
UN
or something.
Yeah.
Something weird.
I
like
got
that.
a piece
You
of
know
the
how
moon.
people say, oh yeah, I own a crater on the moon? No, you don't. No one is allowed to own property on the moon. That
Yeah.
property means nothing.
I own the galaxy that
owns
is
the
about
guy
to be
with-
discovered.
The only person who has the right to sell property is the person with the biggest gun holding that property.
Or the
no
person
one
who stuck the
owns
flag in it.
no one owns the moon. No. That just means they were first.
That's how they used to do it. Stick a flag in it. It's mine.
Yeah.
But do you have a flag? There's 500 million of us. But do you have a flag?
No. Then it is ours. I want this cake, little flag. It's my cake.
Yeah,
now.
I carry my flags everywhere I go. I'm always prepared to just claim stuff.
Well, they've got
Last night I claimed a wonderful chicken sandwich. It was beautiful. I claimed it for the House of Hammond.
It was poison too. They have ships. The government pays ships around near active volcanic submerged.
Underwater volcanoes.
Yes, and that wait for them to breach the surface to claim it as their own island, so they can have the fishing rights around it.
Fair enough.
I know it's still kind of
so, yeah.
weird.
That's really pathetic.
I'm gonna stick a flag in this molten rock.
You're just
It's
standing there
mine.
on a canoe, waiting.
You see it bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. As soon as you see it,
well, I-
Breaks the surface. Bam!
mine.
I think it probably has also something to do with the fact that if an
More
island is
territory,
formed.
you can put your
No,
boats
but
there,
if
you
an
can put
island
your
is
weapons
formed,
there.
there's a certain perimeter around it.
Yeah, which is
you
massive.
have certain.
which is fairly large, which is automatically the right of that whoever owns
For
the
some
island
reason, I get
fishing.
50 Ks.
Um,
50 kilometers.
Well, it's different depending on where you are. And there are
Yeah.
different regions as well. You've got economic zones, you have the fishing zones, you've got
Anyway, so
territory,
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
all
waiting.
this other stuff.
Bubble, bubble, bubble. Bye.
So yeah, saying imagine
Imagine
anybody
other
who's in
planets.
mining would probably love this. Imagine just going
Mining's good
to
money.
another planet in a completely different solar system and going nuts. Imagine what we could build with that amount of resources.
You'd have to
More
explore the solar
spaceships.
system.
Yeah,
first.
spaceships on massive scope.
This seems to be turning into Mass Effect.
It kind of is.
Scan this planet. Does it have resources? Yay!
I like that. I went to a
You'd
planet which
scan
was
every
solid.
planet first.
It was a solid planet. And so obviously it must have had something like iron or uranium or something. Nope. I get a massive amount of helium-3.
Yay!
That's not right.
I go to a solar planet full of helium-3.
Yeah, I went to a planet full of helium-3. There's nothing here. What?
There's helium-3. Can we use that?
We just took 50 tons of it off the planet that was apparently solid. Nope, no helium-3 here.
You said nothing.
So yeah, though it's always been one of those sci-fi staples. Ships as big as cities in space.
Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't
To
seen
be-
that yet.
See it.
I will.
To
I'm
be-
watching the very first Stargate. So,
Yeah.
So SG-1. Right.
I'm saying, could you imagine living on a ship in outer space that is the size of Sydney,
yes,
Yeah.
can sustain itself?
that would be
Yeah.
so much fun.
It would be so much
It
fun.
would be like living in Sydney, which is also that much fun.
E.T.
I'm saying when you think about it,
I am E.T. Yay!
No, you're not.
you're not small, wrinkly, and have something
No,
legs.
no. Extraterrestrial.
Yes.
Even if you're off Earth, you're not ET.
No.
You're still terrestrial.
No, but if you land elsewhere.
No, you're still terrestrial.
Yes, but you're extra.
No, you're not. You're still terrestrial.
Fine.
I do like the
You become an alien, but you're not. You're still a terrestrial alien.
So all of a sudden he grows antennae and
No.
pulls out a laser gun.
We are
Pew,
the
pew, pew.
odd, tall, fleshy things that are looked upon by the natives, and they look at us and go, "What are you, you ugly things?
Oh,
You're not plants? What is wrong with you?"
Sure, we're plants. Look,
it's
this
like,
guy's got
where we
petals.
come from, we eat plants,
You monsters!
and they
And
just
some plants eat bugs.
and they just keep cheerfully munching on carbs or something.
Carnivorous plants.
Oh yeah, the planets of the plant people who eat.
That
eat
would be
meat.
an
Planet
awesome science
of the
fiction B-movie. Planet of the Plant People.
We should make that one time. We can make that 3 people.
We could. All we need is just a
You
couple
you
of
could be the
plants.
plant. Chris could
How
be
could
the
I-
plant.
You get to dress up as a plant. You're lucky.
Other Chris
Yeah.
could be a spaceship.
Wait, but
Oh yes!
And
No,
I
no,
get
no,
to
I
be the
do-
daring explorer. Unfortunately, there's no
so
hot
the
female to
plant
carry away.
beats you senseless,
Aww.
and then eats the ship.
No. He goes down in a shuttle, not the spaceship.
No, but plants have vines. Space vines. I have space vines.
It's not a planet. It's a moon.
This has gone from
That
a
has
serious
space
discussion
vines.
to absolutely
Where
a
was the
moon with
discussion?
space vines.
Orbiting a planet.
This
Which is sentient and can talk.
whose name shall be
Ire. No, that's a terrible idea.
Steve.
I was gonna-
Steve, the
Steve,
planet.
the talking planet.
I was gonna say Smith, but okay.
Steve Smith, the talking planet.
Dave.
Okay, well, I reckon that probably wraps it up for governments restricting science. Unless there's anything else you want to say about it.
Well, I think that we've brought up all of the really valid points there.
Not yet.
Space travel.
Alright, go on.
Do you think scientific developments, advancements should be contained within the government they work for?
No.
No.
So you
I
agree
think-
with me when I think it should be all scientific advancements should be,
Yeah.
and research should be a separate entity from
When
government.
humans are
Hold on.
mature enough to share that kind of information, then I think that all of that information should be free to everybody everywhere.
At
We're not mature enough.
At the moment, I would say no, but I want to add that with the qualifier of the fact that I know that some countries use their scientists just for making weapons, basically. And to be fair, you wouldn't want to share important information like how to make the latest nuclear bomb.
How to make Germany.
How to make the T-virus and stuff.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to share that stuff. No. Personally, I think we as humanity should just grow up and stop thinking about how to make weapons in general.
Well, I think researching
beyond just
dangerous. What is it called?
Chemicals, materials.
Chemical warfare or biological warfare. Looking into that is good, so you can counteract it if it appears somehow naturally.
Yeah, but to
man,
actually,
or if we go to is just risky.
Using it shouldn't be done. It should be kept in small quantities, which are not harmful,
and deactivated.
Yeah, and can be neutralized like that.
Yeah, to be fair, I reckon we should. Yeah, when it just comes to weapons kind of stuff, beyond the actual figuring out of how to prevent damage or prevent harm. And some people say, oh, having a weapon is preventing harm. It's really not. If you took away everyone's weapons, then no one could do you harm.
Well, except that then somebody would pick up a weapon.
Or make one.
So you can't do it permanently.
I mean, you can make a weapon out of a stick.
In a perfect world, we would have no weapons except for stuff like fencing or kendo, which is just purely for fun.
Every single country now has a deterrent to nuclear weapons, and every single...
What does Australia have?
The capacity to make nuclear weapons.
The uranium.
All of your uranium, by the way.
We have the nuclear kangaroos.
Yeah, we have kangaroos. You don't want to mess with kangaroos.
We just take uranium at them. Take that, you
In catapults. We have kangaroos armed with catapults that fire yellow cake uranium.
Yeah, don't come to Australia. We'll mess you up.
Yeah. Koala bears with...
And
sorry, they're not bears,
now
they're just koalas. These
I'm sorry. Gigantic interceptor lasers. So, how do you hit something that has so many different kinds of ways to defend itself?
Yeah, but
stealth bomb.
But are you comfortable with the knowledge that humanity can literally destroy the planet so permanently that no life would ever be able to grow again?
Sure, it would be able to grow again. You have no idea how resilient life is.
I don't like that we're able to do it, but then again, I don't really care because if one idiot gets into power with the button, then we're all screwed.
The fact is, we are capable of doing it. That is a fact. We can annihilate the human race.
But no one really wants to start it.
No one wants to do that.
It's mad.
Nobody will do that. It's so far beyond reason that it's...
we can blow it up.
I would say you're underestimating some people when you say no one would do that.
Yeah,
I did not say that no one would do that.
Because
I said it is far
I'm
beyond
pretty sure
reason.
that America's policy is still, if it is fired upon by nuclear weapons, to bomb the hell out of the place that fired those nukes at them.
That's pretty much everyone else's policy too.
Yeah.
Whoever has a...
so long as someone presses the first button and, fires in the right place, then everyone's dead.
Yep.
You wouldn't want someone to just trip and fall on the button.
But look...
I know it's not done like that, but...
That is a fact, so am I comfortable with that? Well, you know what?
You can't do anything about it.
It's beyond my control, it's just a fact. I'm going to die, it's a fact.
All we can do is make a spaceship and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
So, NASA?
I would prefer a world where, there were just no weapons at all.
Yeah, sure, that would be great.
And as much as there'll still be people beating each other up with fists, because, that's going to happen.
Actually, no, I want weapons. You know why? Because there are people stronger than me. Very, very simple reason.
Are the
thing
users.
is, you would become the you would become the slave to a more powerful human.
You would essentially want something that would equal the ground for every...
I'm happy to be equal with everybody else.
But certain things need to be calibrated for.
I do not want to be victim to
We'll just pump you with steroids.
Society.
Pump everyone with steroids until they reach the same muscle mass.
None of us will be able to breed anymore. We'll die out because of steroid overuse.
We introduce the policy, or the silly people who will take it die out, and then only the scientists will remain, and then there's no
steroids, you can have them for free. And if you don't want steroids, you can go to the breeding clinic. Because now we have breeding clinics with kangaroos.
Kangaroos and drop bears. Well, I guess that just about wraps it up for me. So
yellow cake drop bears. Yellow cake drop bears at planes.
Kangaroos carry them in the pouches, ready. Fire!
Wow. Okay. I think it's about time we moved on to our third topic.
What am I talking about?
Well, you had it before.
You're the one who's talking
the
about.
future. That was
Yeah, I've got it
And
written
there's
in
some
front of
other
me,
stuff.
but I'm not sure if I want to do it.
Okay. Well,
Do it. Go ahead. Try.
Try what?
Try speaking
So,
about your topics, whatever they are.
So yeah, what should I do first?
Do the little ones.
The little ones? Yeah, I'll do the little ones first. We should have a lot of time. Don't press my buttons.
I don't want you to press all my
Don't-
buttons, baby.
don't do that. What?
Huh?
I like it.
Oh, I can't read this now. I wrote it down, but the pace of lead's rubbed
Yes. The trials and tribulations of an engineer.
off. Yes.
Being unable to read your own writing.
No, that's
It's
a
a sad
doctor.
fate that happens to many,
That's a doctor's problem.
especially around the exam time. You know, engineers left stuck and stranded in the middle of a worksheet.
right.
Looking at
Unable-
your notes thinking, what on earth have I written?
Oh, I just rewrote my notes.
Just looking blankly at each
scratch.
other
Okay. I
until
got
the
it.
computer was born.
Yay, typing. Actually, I don't like typing. I prefer.
I prefer typing to writing out.
I prefer dictation. So, I'll just start on the little stuff first. Just little stuff. We'll try and keep this contained. What consoles do you guys own? I've been listening to a lot of games and stuff.
I
What
own
consoles
a
do you own?
PS2, which is just still so much fun.
Nice.
And I had a GameCube, and I only played Zoids on it. Oh, it was great.
GameCube.
Game-
Anything else? The PC, obviously.
The PC, of course. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
who isn't a PC gamer?
The glorious PC Master Gaming Race.
I've got a Blu-ray player that is also a PS3. Haha.
Wait, you what?
I have a Blu-ray player that is also just happens
Oh.
to play games. It's a PS3.
So it is a PS3? Or okay.
Yes.
You completely failed to get the joke.
Yep.
Everybody else will be laughing at home, and you'll just be like, "What's going on, guys? Guys?
Sorry, I'm half out of it.
I have a Wii,
We'll get half into
which
it."
is fun.
Are we? Are you? A me?
I have a me. I have two me's. I call one of them Potato Man, actually. It'll be kind of...
Wait, what's
I've got a me that's called Zoidberg.
There's such a thing called oh, right. Now I get it. Me's are the avatar things, aren't
Yeah.
Yep.
they? Yes, as you can probably tell, I don't have a Wii.
And, do I have anything else? And I've got some really, really
Any
nice old ones.
handheld consoles?
Oh, I don't remember the names of them. I have one of the ones that's just handheld and it's a little screen.
Were
Were they Nintendo?
it would have been a
Game...
Game Boy Advance.
No.
Shaped like that.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got them as well. Are those consoles? Are those classified?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little
Classified
consoles.
consoles.
Oh, in which case I've got a DS and an SP. That's my... like that. No,
Well,
no
can
color
I go
anymore.
can I go next?
reprogrammed.
Just
Yeah, you can go
go
next and I'll go last.
Okay, I have one primary console, which is the Wii, because, my parents are just like, everything else is too violent, and I'm just like, okay. It's still decent.
Violence?
I'm a PC gamer anyway.
Yeah, I'm a PC gamer who's just gone through Dishonored. I like violence a lot.
Stabby.
And this may infuriate some people. I do have a handheld console. It's called an iPad.
How would that infuriate people? As
Well,
long as you're using it for a decent use,
Yeah.
gaming,
I'm not.
the iPad doesn't do anything else.
I'm not a huge fan of the Apple products, but I like the look of them, but I just don't like the OS. That just drives me nuts.
That's fine.
And that's turned me off
actually-
them for life.
I actually quite like the iPad though, because it does have quite a lot of interesting games, and quite a lot of new and interesting ideas. I think, in a market where an iPad game can literally be made for a very cheap price, someone can program it
even
themselves,
free.
paying literally nothing, and sell it at a decent price, like $1-2 purchase. That game could last you up to 20 hours if it's
Just
done
put that
well.
on the game and you get income.
Yeah, it's really quite a good system, and it does lead to a lot of original things. Though, can I say one thing?
Yes.
And
Yes, you
I
can.
know there's going to be no iPad. I know there's going to be no iPad app developers listening, but if they are listening,
Maybe
cut
some long time in the
out
future.
the in-app purchase. It is beyond annoying to see all these apps which are basically just about buy this in-app and are basically all traps. Because that's what they are.
For
Maybe
what?
that's
what
the
are you
game.
talking about?
I don't have an iPad or
In-app
anything. do you?
purchases are basically in the game. need to stop saying basically. That's what I keep saying a lot.
You say a lot of things a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I say a lot of time.
What?
That made no sense to anybody listening.
La, 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 la.
Including us, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Go on.
That was just gibberish.
No, but
what
in-app
are in-app purchases?
In-app purchases are where you buy items or, money
right.
in the game.
Levels, that kind
Right,
of stuff.
I get that.
Basically pay to win. Stop saying basically. Though the thing is, some of the apps are designed so that they're free to download. No, stop that. I'm sorry, they're just riling me on. They're free to download, they're very fun to pay, and they can get quite addictive. Though just as it's getting good, you have to start paying to actually get anywhere. And this can
That's
really trap
disagreeable.
some of the younger people with iPads. Some of the younger players, as it were, because
They just click the button.
If they have access to their parents' credit cards, and I heard this on them.
Or if the credit card is already linked to
if
that.
if the credit card's already linked, they can
application.
literally go through an amazing amount of cash, and this
Without
game
thinking
is
about it.
basically designed to just keep fueling that. And to be fair, I think it's just a horrible design for a game in general. Why would you design a game like that? I know it makes
It's very
money, but it's
clever though, because it makes a lot of money. So actually, it's very good design if it's encouraging people to do that.
Yeah.
but
it's
good
game is
design.
supposed
It's
to be
good. It's
purchased
good
and
at
played
being
and not have
evil.
to continue
Yes,
to
it's very good at being evil, and I appreciate
And
that.
I don't want evil apps. That's
Then don't get them.
Evil.
You are obviously one of the strong ones, which are not part of their farms.
but
the weak will fall.
Gold farms.
yeah, but is it right that they should be farming for that?
No, it isn't, and
No, it's-
there should be a way to educate people about this as well, and tell them about this. Like, maybe what they could do is they could put a warning that says, "Look, there's tons of in-app purchases." I don't know if that would even work.
Well, on the developer page,
Apple would need to do something to say
usually
you can have this, but you've got to say with a big warning before you go into this.
You'll have to
you
start
will-
paying at some point.
Yes, yeah. At least make it known.
Well, see, the thing is, the games already list the in-app purchases on their page, so that's fine. They basically say, again, basically,
That's alright. That's fine.
they already say that we have these purchases in the app. This is how much they cost. This is how much people have bought. That kind of stuff. And Apple is fairly good with it, especially when it starts to get out of hand. Like the cases where a child has spent $1,000 on this single app in like a week. Apple's pretty good with that, and they generally refund it fairly quickly. Though I just think the core design of that kind of game is just A, morally wrong, and B, it doesn't lend itself to good gameplay at all. So it makes horrible
Do you have to buy
games.
things? Do you have to buy things to continue in the game?
Some games you do.
Really?
Not all games. Most of these games are designed
But
so
some
that
games
you.
you
Some
do.
games you do.
No, most of these
That
games.
is just wrong.
Most of these games.
That would be
Does
classed
that-
as a demo or something.
Can I just say this? Most of the games I'm talking about, you don't theoretically have to buy anything to get through the game. That said, the game becomes so hard, the growth becomes, like, the development of your character or whatever you're making becomes so small if you don't buy anything, that basically you do have to buy something to
Well, that's
continue.
disappointing, but I have encountered situations like that, and it is disappointing to think that I've just wasted that much time. But what I do is I put the thing down and I go outside, because I think just
Rage
stuff
quit.
it for a
Yeah,
while.
well, see, the thing is, I'm fine myself because I can obviously tell when something's just having me on like that. More the purpose that I'm trying to say is the younger people who do go through these apps, sometimes they don't know that.
True.
And in fact, quite a lot of the times they don't know. And some of these games you look at, like Smurfville, is designed specifically for children. You don't design Smurfville for adults, do you?
Well,
Why would
maybe.
adults want Smurfville? It's basically like Farmville for the
Nostalgia.
iPad with Smurfs. I'm saying we've already got giant Smurfs for adults. They're called Avatar. That's from Avatar. Anyway, my point is,
I think he's on
It's-
a rant.
That's good. Don't interrupt.
now you've just interrupted me on my rant.
Keep going.
Never interrupt someone on their rant.
Never. The thing is, it doesn't lend itself to good gameplay because the games end up being boring, monotonous, and just repetitive. And
Absolutely.
and seeing as this system does make money, even though it shouldn't, a lot of the developers are copying that. Especially the bigger developers are copying that just to get more money.
I'm getting more garbage.
So in other words, you're homogenizing the Apple iStore market which makes it boring. And, you know, it's...
It pushes out the innovative games.
It pushes out the innovative games.
It pushes them down as well,
Yeah.
and it makes them hard to find.
Because the masses will choose what they've known and what all the developers are just pushing out there in mass.
Yeah, I personally am much more likely to buy a game or an app if it doesn't have any in-app purchases at all, because that to me tells me that there's going to be no messing around. What I've bought, I can play all the way to the end.
And you never have to say, would you like to purchase this or would you like to share it? No. No.
I'm saying
I
think in-app purchases are good for some games. For example, there's demo games, as it were, which are themselves, you download the completed game, yet you've unlocked up to like chapter 3 or something, and you know you can play that and say, oh, I quite like this game, I want to keep going, I'll pay for the in-app purchase to get the rest of the game.
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Trial.
Yeah, that's basically trial. What I'm describing is constant purchases required to keep going.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
really?
that was my rant.
Now let's reel it back. What other consoles do you have?
I have I have a Wii. I have a computer, as I said, and I've got my iPad.
Yes,
That's it.
we avoided another rant.
All right, and what have you got?
I've got a PC, PS2, PS3, PSP,
And a partridge in a pear tree. I'm sorry.
Sorry, that console hasn't come out yet. I've got
Parts
Game
of
Boy
Station
Black and
3.
White, Game Boy Color, Game Boy SP, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't intentionally get
PS2, PS3, PSP.
And a partridge.
No, it just kind of happened. The
I've got them
PS2
as well.
I originally wanted.
Yeah.
Right?
I bought that with my
That-
own money.
I think I got it for a Christmas present, but Dad said it was his. So anyway,
It's mine now.
no, but anyway, I play it. It doesn't. I think he played Top Spin or something, and we had it with. No, but we got it with
It's not a game.
No, it's
That
a
doesn't
tennis
make
game.
any sense.
No, but we got we got Gran Turismo 4 with it and the steering wheel and everything. It was good fun. And now
Driving games are always good fun.
yeah, we got the PS3 with our television, and my parents don't use it, but I
We
can't
did the
use it.
same. We got it with the television.
Yeah, with the
So
Sony television.
We bought a television, and they gave us a PS3 and 2 games, and we thought,
Oh, we didn't get any
that's
games.
great. I mean, and another controller. And
I didn't get another controller.
We're like, this is amazing.
Meanwhile, my parents bought their first television around the time that consoles were coming out, and I hadn't been born. And it's still going strong. Cathode
Yeah.
ray tubing for the win.
I have a cathode ray tube TV, and it still works.
It is a brilliant.
Kaboom.
Yeah, that's quite a good sound.
But the
Lightning.
problem is, I can't play the PS3 as much as I want to,
Why not?
because it's downstairs in the living area where my poor parents always are.
You know what I have done?
So, and I'm not allowed to move it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to move the PS3.
Why not?
Well,
Do they play it?
Firstly,
They watch
it's-
stuff on it.
No, it's pretty much just paperweight without weighting down any paper downstairs for my parents
Then why can't you move it?
because we don't have another TV.
No, your computer screen. What I do is
Computer screen?
I
Okay.
have a DVI output
Another
to
reason
HDMI,
is it's
and so I
wired
can plug
through
it
the
into
wall.
HDMI.
To the television.
So you just unplug it from the wall, get another HDMI cable,
No,
and
no,
plug it into your
the
into your
TV's
screen.
on the wall. The cables go through the wall.
Yeah, but your PS3 is not in the wall. So you unplug it from the from the PS3 and get another HDMI cable.
Another cable?
Yeah, it's got to be something somewhere.
Actually, we do have another HDMI cable, but it's used for the laptop, which is used on the television.
You can go and buy one. They're like $5.
Yeah,
Mind you,
not-
this HDMI cable is like 5 meters long.
You only need a tiny little HDMI cable.
Yeah.
Just because you don't even need to look at the PS3 when you're playing, and you plug it into the back of your screen. That's what I do.
Another reason why I haven't moved it is because I'm mainly a PC gamer.
Yeah.
Because this will probably lead into my next question.
Well,
I tend to play FPSs on the computer,
yeah.
and I suck at stick when it comes to shooting.
Sorry.
What?
I suck at stick.
No, well, joystick. Plus,
Really?
I'm sorry.
Attack!
Okay, just to let you know, there's an epic battle going on where we're currently punishing Chris for the horrible joke he made.
Anyway, stop. Too far. No, so I suck at targeting with a joystick.
because you'll be panning. Suddenly you're facing 180 degrees. It's like, huh? So then you're getting shot at. The first time I ever played with a controller it was an Xbox, and I was playing Halo, and it was a deathmatch in Blood Gulch.
Yay, Blood Gulch!
Yeah, yes, but the problem was,
how many times did you get killed?
Okay, you know how noobs are seen as, like the exaggerated noobs are seen as running around in circles shooting at the ground?
Yes.
Oh no.
That wasn't an exaggeration.
Oh no.
I was like,
I've never been that bad. Oh, it's terrible. Oh yeah.
But that was partly due because I could see on the split screen that my cousin had me in the sniper scope, and I was just panicking and just like, move, do something.
My favorite tactic whenever that happened, because whenever you're playing split screen, you basically got to cheat and look at the other guy's
it's
screen.
so hard not to.
Or you can't help it.
Well, what I've done
You're
is
used to
I've
looking
put-
at the full screen.
No,
and
I've put
just
a piece of fabric and I sticky tape it to both ends, and then one person sits on the floor and one person sits on the back of the couch, and then you put the the fabric downwards, and then you put your feet on it on the couch, so that then you cannot see the other person's screen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember my first time. I remember as soon as any time
First
I was
time
in
gaming.
I remember my first
basically. Actually, no, not basically. And I need to stop using that word. I remember my first time gaming was actually Super Mario. Though that's another story.
Super
altogether.
Mario Land
Mine
was
was
my very
Pokemon.
first game.
Super Mario 64.
That was my first game.
Okay.
Super Mario Land.
Cool. I guess.
Game Boy Black and White. My Game Boy was red.
64 for the win. I remember every time I was in someone's sights in Halo, I would just do the hopping dance.
Hopping down.
Because I knew what the jump button was, and I thought if I keep jumping, maybe they won't headshot me.
This doesn't
I was
matter.
so wrong.
time it.
So wrong.
It's not hard to hit someone when
No,
they're
it
jumping.
really isn't.
Especially the jumping on a level plane, and you know what the
And
jump height
jumping
is.
at a constant rate.
Yeah.
It's invariable. Okay, this will hopefully flow into my next question.
It won't.
This is going to take up my entire segment. What's your favorite game genre? Or game genres? Or
RTS.
RTS?
I'm not that good at RTS, though I do quite like it. Though I also like beat 'em up games to some degree. That's the only beat 'em up
Sorry,
game.
Beat 'em up.
beat 'em up.
Beat 'em up, yeah. But
As
the only no, not as in beatboxing. Otherwise,
As
I'll
in
beat
what?
you up. As my favorite game in that sort of respect is Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Mostly because it's a game I can beat people
Super
at.
Smash Brothers is a fun
Yay.
game.
I am not very good at any FPSs whatsoever. I had a friend one time. We were playing Call of Duty 3, whatever, and he literally chased me around the whole map with a tomahawk. Only a tomahawk. That's the
Gotta
only
scream.
weapon. That's the only weapon he used. I was in terror for my life. He threw it over a car, hit me in the head. I was behind a wall. He bounced it off a wall or something. It was ridiculous.
How do you bounce a tomahawk off a wall?
I don't know. I just
Same way you
remember.
bounce a rock off a wall.
I just
No,
remember.
not the same way you bounce a rock off a wall. Bouncing
You
a rock
throw
off a
it
wall
at the
is
wall.
easy.
Yeah,
Bouncing a tomahawk is not easy.
This is Call of Duty. Anything with a blade in Call of Duty will instantly kill you wherever it hits you. You could be hit in the big toe with the softest part of a knife, and you will die.
Softest part of a knife.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
the tassel that they hang on the end of it.
Yeah, they could hit you with the tassel of the knife, and you would die because this is Call of Duty. Knives kill you instantly.
Yep, bullets go right through your... Bullets cannot get through your armor sometimes, but a knife will go straight through that Kevlar.
Oh yeah.
Like a hot knife through butter. Chris, what about your favorite game genres?
Well, I don't really mind what I play as long as the story is intriguing and the development is intriguing, but I'm very much of an RTS and FPS person. I really like either controlling my character and developing them and being able to control how they interact with the world and cast fireball,
Sims.
/rocket launcher. So Mass Effect, for example. But I also really like...
rocket launcher.
Fireball is a rocket launcher.
Now I just had this image of these three guys sitting around a table, and you enter a dungeon, and a rat is in front of you. What do you guys do? Warrior. I pull out my broadsword, and I begin to charge using Demoralizing Shout. Ranger. I get into position, I go into sneak mode, get my bow ready for a power shot. Wizard. I cast rocket launcher.
You know what? That isn't that far from one of the scenarios I've played, except we had a Dragonborn. Or actually, it was just two of us.
I cast
had a Dragonborn. Yeah, he basically did a fire blast, and I was a ranger, so I pull out my bow and sneak. It's like so it's
fire blast.
You pretty much described the direct thing. You pretty much killed all of them. It's like, okay.
I do have to agree with you. One of the things I find important in any game is, number one, good mechanics. A story, because I play, as you can tell, I play a lot of app games, so, sometimes a game is not a story, it's just down to its pure mechanics. And those games can be immensely fun. That said, for me, if story is one of the things that, for a full-on console game, or, a full-on game, a story needs to be good.
Yep.
If it's not a good story, if I find myself cringing at every action the main characters make, if I find myself, just looking at them going, what are you guys doing? Which is why I, sometimes I do quite like JRPGs. Like, there's this game called Xenoblade, which is for the Wii, which is really quite good, and I really like that. Though sometimes I also look at JRPGs and I'm just like, why is the main character so whiny? Why can't I just slap him and tell this man up a bit? Yeah.
Well, sometimes you do look at a character, and even in very, very good games, occasionally, actually quite a bit sometimes, your character does something either hilarious or completely uncalled for, or something like that. For example, controlling Commander Shepard.
Oh, you're thinking of this...
Hang
on, we probably shouldn't...
Let him continue.
You're controlling Commander Shepard.
Hang on,
And
spoiler warning, possibly.
No spoiler warning. And this person has just annoyed you. And so... And they're quite a violent person, and they're probably mad. So you select the blue option, I'm sorry. And Commander Shepard then goes, I'm sorry, pulls out a gun and shoots him. Okay, that's not what I meant when I clicked I'm sorry on the blue one.
This is meant to be the good option. Why am I shooting people in the face?
I do find it sometimes.
Possible.
I accidentally... Commander Shepard reacts very strongly to things.
Well, what I don't like about that is that what they have in the little words is not what actually happens. Or what he says. You expect him to say what is written in the selection.
Or at least something that means the same thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No, but it's hit and miss. It is hit and miss. I like to play...
To be fair, I quite like that sometimes, because I just like looking at where they're going to go. So, click a button. I'm sorry. Here, have some rose. Do you want a hug? Do you want a hug? Come here, have a hug. And I'm just like, how would you get that out of I'm sorry? Well done.
So my favorite genres are RTS.
RTS is the chess of the gamers.
No, that would be TBS.
Oh, like RTS, I thought you...
Turn-based strategy.
Yeah, turn-based strategy is different to real-time strategy.
So
I do like turn-based strategy, though.
Heroes of Might and Magic.
That's
fun.
I love
it. Is. It's so good, isn't it?
Played it.
I highly recommend it. Starting from number 4.
Okay, so I like RTS, FPS, and
ASS.
RPG.
And what?
RPG. Only certain RPGs though.
When I say
like,
FPS, I pretty much assume RPG, because everything for me is RPG or nothing.
I find games such as BioShock and Mass Effect really work with me, because they're FPS RPGs, but the RPG element, you really connect with the character. The character develops how you want them to develop, and you just meshes with them.
Yeah.
Plus good storylines.
Yeah.
I haven't played Mass Effect 3, but I've played the rest of them.
Can I just say, I have played BioShock, And looking back on it,
We've talked about Bioshock every podcast. I
Bioshock
think.
is amazing. Looking back on it, Bioshock is a ridiculously rigid game. You know, you're going down the set path. There's not that much difference you can take. There's a mild moral choice aspect. That's kind of the kind of things like,
No, but
doesn't really need to be there. But
that moral
said,
choice, though.
never once when I played it did I feel like I was being forced to do what the game wanted. I always wanted to do what the game wanted. I'm saying that's good design.
I wanted to say something then, but it would be a huge spoiler.
Oh yeah, I know what you're referencing. And when that scene happened, that was so amazing for me because Bioshock has one of these moments which is just a turning moment, which is just
twist.
It
opens things up.
Bioshock has the perfect example to any video game of how a proper twist in a video game should go.
Yeah, if you haven't played it, play it.
It's once again, it's like $20 on Steam. Go buy it, get it, play it.
This is why I like games such as Mass Effect and
We should be sponsored by Bioshock.
over things like Skyrim. Skyrim is just so open. And
I like sandboxes,
and they
though.
didn't.
Some sandboxes.
They don't have any really massive, significant storyline. Because I got to the end, and I, let's say, beat the last boss, and that was it. You know, and that happened so quickly that I never even got a chance to really connect with the storyline. There was never an explanation. There was never any sort of real interaction that you had to do. It was, go here, do that, go there, do that, go there, do that, go there, do that, kill this, kill that, kill that, da-da-da-da-da. Which I thought was, not so great. The fact that it was so massive, I thought was very good.
I do have to say, I do quite like sandboxes, mostly because sometimes sandboxes are great fun for messing around. Have any of you played Prototype?
No.
No.
I want to get
Best
it, but
messing around ever. If you're feeling slightly vindictive, you've had a hard day at work, come home, play Prototype. It's cathartic in nature, How are you going to murder these random civilians? Well, I don't know. I could throw them off the Empire State Building and disembowel them in midair, or I could throw them into a military convoy, subsequently destroy said military convoy, and then, I don't know, for encore, I'm going to run up to the Empire State Building and fly away, shooting blood out of my wrists. Because why not?
Shooting blood out of
That's how you
wrists.
glide. I am not even kidding.
destroy
Oh my God,
destroy a
that's
helicopter.
crazy.
Destroy a helicopter by throwing civilians at it.
The best way I've heard it described is flying like an emo Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Sick whiny foots.
How gruesome.
That would be
yeah,
a very crappy superpower.
I do like games with good storylines.
Can I just say one thing on the subject of
Yes, you
fantasy in Western games? Can we get over elves, dwarves, and all that rigmarole
No.
for Western fantasy? Because,
Yeah.
to be honest, it's boring. People wonder why I like JRPGs over Western RPGs sometimes. And you know what I would like to say? One word? Well, actually, no, 2 words. Better fantasy. The game I talked about earlier, Xenoblade. You know where it's set? It's set on the bodies of 2 giant colossuses that have been fighting and died together. I'm saying that is a good setting. When has a Western RPG done something like that? There may be an example, but I've never even seen it.
When people are on the happy pills.
Can I just say, Japan can do that without the happy pills.
Well,
Clearly.
yes, they can.
So why can't we be as creative with what we do? Why does fantasy, for a Western perspective, have to be limited to medieval time setting, elves and dwarves, maybe not even elves and dwarves, maybe just elven medieval time setting with, magic or something like that? Make it interesting, make it different.
Because they're just going off
That's
the
another
base.
thing that I don't like about a lot of games, for example, Skyrim. Although it was wonderful and open, it was just like old history. There was almost no fantasy. I mean, what were the enemies in Skyrim? Zombies and dragons.
Werewolves as well.
Yeah, werewolves.
I'm saying even that's not original. Werewolves, trolls, giants. It's
So you're saying you create something entirely new.
Yes.
So yeah, do something new. Do something how it's different. Whereas
Yeah, but creating something new takes a lot of work.
yeah, of course it does.
Yes, and of
It's
course,
worth it.
And again,
No, but do the companies think it's worth it?
well, I don't know, but
Probably
then
not, seeing as they're using the bases,
yeah, but still,
or the basic ones.
if a company can come along, I genuinely believe that if a company can come along and create something genuinely new and genuinely brilliant, well, but actually good, it will be brilliant.
We've seen this before. When things are actually really good,
Okay.
they
Bioshock.
get word of mouth that goes everywhere.
Yeah,
For example,
Bioshock,
Bioshock,
they
people
become
are still buying Bioshock.
Yeah, and you know what? Bioshock is not a usual setting, is it?
No.
So,
There are not many games set in the time of Bioshock. And you have that creepy 1950s music, is it?
Waiting for me.
I'm not 100% sure the time setting though. It's a brilliant time setting. It's brilliant, new and original. Turn of the century stuff is amazing. Mostly because steampunk is also amazing. But yeah, with fantasy should not be limited to elves and dwarves and big muscly men with big muscly
Wizards.
swords. What the standard
Wizards,
wizards
warlocks,
And
witches.
Rick as himself.
and
Zero
yeah,
as a number.
talking about Borderlands briefly, and 0 as a number. That's on New Borderlands. Brilliant.
I said that fractionally before you.
Yes, but you didn't say that we could all hear it, did you?
They heard it.
They're always listening.
I'll cut yours out and keep mine in.
Aww. Yeah, but no one will hear yours. It'll be like as a number.
Again, I can amplify things. Anyway,
So yeah, just make interesting, new, different stuff.
I suppose it would be similar to making alien races.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, like having an alien race that's, an alien
Yeah.
race.
An alien race that
Mass
isn't
Mass Effect was good, though.
one.
I think
Unbelievable to develop them.
I still think Mass Effect in the end got a bit too bogged down in the whole FPS thing. Because I have played Mass Effect 3, and I'm not planning on spoiling it already at all, but I think it does get a bit bogged down by FPS by the end.
How
As
so?
in,
What does that mean? Bogged
What do you
down
mean
by
by
FPS?
the end? Sorry, also.
No,
what
not
time
the end
frame
of the game, as in the end, like the third game. As in, it's much more.
There's a new Mass Effect coming out, and it will not have Commander Shepard in it.
I've heard about that. Yes.
Interesting.
So yes, it gets bogged down by FPS. What does that mean?
As in, it becomes just too much based on shoot this, shoot this, shoot this. You can literally get through the whole game with barely upgrading your character at all, so long as you're good enough with a gun.
That I don't mind. If you have the skill of shooting someone in the head from a long way away, then that you're able to do that.
I really
A headshot's a
liked
headshot's a headshot.
Yeah, but I really liked in
I don't like
games
being
how I
limited
could
by that.
Convince people or talk to people out of stuff or just solve problems. I really like that.
Yeah, I think that aspect of not having to resort to violence every time is good.
I think that's so useful.
And
'Cause
plus
I
the
get
moral decisions you
tired
can make in it.
of just
Especially in Mass
shooting
Effect
people.
2. Because you're given a lot of choices where you think, oh, should I do this or should I do that? Especially, it's when you're getting, I think, trying to get your teammates
Spoiler.
loyal. So you've got to get, it helps in the long run or something. So you've got to get your teammates to be loyal to you and that kind of stuff. And they're just side missions. You don't have to do them at all. But I went through it and did them all. But some of those, some of the things that come up in those side missions, you got to stop and think, okay, how am I going to play this? Because you want the character to be loyal to you, but you also think of, okay, are there possible negative effects from doing this or not? So there's one I have in mind particularly, which I went against what I wanted to do, but I thought it would. Actually, no, I did what I thought was best, but it's not what I necessarily wanted to do. So,
Yeah.
it's
I
just
reckon
something that challenges you.
Yeah, I reckon any game that can challenge you and making you say, this is what I want to do, but this is what I think best. And instead of the usual decision with this is what I want to do, but this is what's going to be best, so I'll just choose that.
Yeah, I had to-
instead
I
of
had
the
to stop
best,
and think.
actually making you think. That is the sign of a good game
Because
design.
sometimes it's very easy to think, oh, well, that one's obviously the better option. I take that one.
Yeah, or if you're doing games with moral choice aspects, That's good option, that's bad option. I wonder which option I should take. Ooh, I'm playing a good character. Gonna have to think hard about this one.
Well, again, in Mass Effect, the lines between good and bad are blurred sometimes, and you think what you're going to do is good when it really might not be.
Yeah, that can be, that in my opinion is quite a good thing, because it actually makes you stop and think and say, hold on a second, is this actually the right thing to do, or am I being a bit too hasty about this?
I actually had to stop the game, get up from my computer, and walk away and think about it.
Well, that's what I did in the final.
I was pacing around the house, thinking, okay, well, if I did, it took a lot of thinking before I came to a conclusion. But a game that gets you to do
remarkable.
That is just bloody brilliant. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I say Mass Effect 3 kind of gets bogged down in the FPS. I personally didn't have any of those moments playing Mass Effect 3. I didn't have a moment.
Did you play all the side missions?
I played through the whole game, every single aspect of it. I've gone through it twice now.
Right.
Well,
if they're losing that kind of decision-making thing, I think that's a real loss.
Because that's losing its one. I think it's
that's losing its
feature.
depth.
Because Mass Effect is defined by everybody who's played it, the choices you can make.
I think there's a lot of choices that I probably should have played, Mass Effect 2, then played Mass Effect 3, because that probably would have added weight to some of the decisions I made. Though a lot of the decisions were fairly binary. It's like, there's the good option, there's the evil option. I'm currently playing a good character. I'm probably going to go for the good option.
The good, neutral, bad.
Yeah, and there really wasn't a time when I thought, oh, the evil option looks good. Because, I was just looking and I was like, they're both arbitrarily the same. And seeing as I'm playing a good character, I might as well choose good, because why would I want to choose evil? I have no investment either way. And once again, I should probably have played Mass Effect 2 or something like that, but I still think...
Have you played 1 and 2?
I haven't played 1 and 2, that's the thing.
You've only played 3.
I've only played 3.
How does that work?
But if Mass Effect 3 was as good a game as Mass Effect 1 and 2, I wouldn't have needed to have played those to still have that kind of, as we're talking about, decision-making process.
No, because they're... Well, you would have needed to play it for the weight.
For the weight, yes, but for the decision-making, for the actual ambiguous decision-making, for the time where I'm thinking, should I choose this option or should I choose this option?
I like to play games in order.
Yes.
As Mass Effect 3 was coming out, I went and hunted down a bargain for Mass Effect 1. And then Mass Effect 2, because I was hearing heaps of hype about it. And people saying it's great, which it is. So I went to game 1 and played that. And then game 2, played that. And now I'm waiting for game 3 to come down in price.
You cheap man, you.
Yes.
No, that's just smart.
No, it's cheap, but it's not going anywhere. And it's only going to get cheaper.
Anyway.
Until one day it's like Bioshock at $9.99. Haha. It's mine now. Oh! I'm going to get it for the holidays.
Oh.
Holidays are coming up. Oh, yes.
I'm hoping Mass Effect 3 comes down just enough so I can have it with the holidays. Also, I was looking at...
Holidays are too long.
Sorry?
Holidays are too long.
I was also looking at a game this morning, The Secret World.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Heard a lot about that. My friend is crazy about that game.
I've heard pretty much nothing about it.
Shout out to David.
But I just like the look of the uniforms on the box art. So I'm like...
I've heard a lot about that game, and I also find it quietly hilarious, because Guild Wars 2, kind of like most MMOs, got minced, as it were, between the battle between...
Is it a spoiler?
No, it's got minced between World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2. And I'm not even sure how well Guild Wars 2 is going, because, it kind of flared up once it opened. But I don't know how it's tracking compared to World of Warcraft at the moment.
World of Warcraft. Nothing happened to World of Warcraft. They brought out the Pandarans. They couldn't.
World of Warcraft brings out just enough new stuff to keep getting people interested.
I was actually considering starting an account.
That's a terrible idea.
No.
Terrible idea.
Let me finish. Then I came to my senses.
Yeah.
And decided against...
Don't worry. I've been sitting at my computer and I've got the World of Warcraft icon.
You have the icon?
Well, not anymore, but I used to have the icon. And I sat there and I thought, it's not that much money, is it?
It's free up until
I could just go
a certain level, isn't it?
And buy just 1 month subscription, just 1 month, and play for just 1 month.
Remember when I was talking about those in-app purchases?
Yeah, and then I thought, no, I can't do this,
That's one thing I don't like. I don't like how you have to pay for this, pay to keep playing.
I think that's reasonable if it's amazing.
It's
isn't.
not as amazing as it is because it gets boring.
We have to move now.
Okay.
Are they setting up outside?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well, finishing up.
one more question. Favorite game or games? Two at tops.
Oh, 2?
Chris?
Okay. I take Mass Effect 1 and
As a vector.
What favorite games? Ooh.
Come on. Quickly. Look, you're still
My
thinking.
favorite game for the Wii, Xenoblade Chronicles, amazing game. What else?
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, which one?
Ratchet, all of them. The entire
That's
Ratchet
valid,
and Clank
that's valid.
series.
I'm gonna say Bioshock and hopefully Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah. I liked Bioshock, again.
Hey, my one.
I can like it too.
Get
Bioshock and Mass Effect. So,
Mass Effect scores very highly there, and Bioshock scores very
hang
highly.
on, where you go? We've still got to do the outro. So,
Alright, let's do the
outro. What do we say now? We say where to contact us. You
Well,
want to do the outro?
Yeah,
You do
alright.
the outro.
So, we are Explosive Combination.
Woo!
I hope you knew that beginning this video. It's not the first time that I'm telling you this. You can contact us at explosivecombination@gmail.com. No spaces, underscores, or any of that other fluffy stuff.
Just explosivecombination@gmail.com.
Yep, we are Explosive Combination on YouTube. That is our channel. And like and subscribe us and favorite us as
And
well.
comment?
Yes, comment. Tell us anything you want to tell us. Tell us about
Tell your friends about
your
us.
opinions. Give us questions to look at. If you want to answer the question that's going around still, which
Yeah,
is
we'll have to come to it
the
next
future.
Believe
What
me,
is it going to be like in the future?
we don't have that many viewers. If you leave a comment saying something that you want to be discussed,
We
will
most
definitely
likely we will
read it.
discuss it.
Yes. I'm Chris,
I'm Chris.
I'm Luke.
and we are
Explosive Combination. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to us.
I hope you've
Our
had an
ramblings.
interesting experience.
Yes. Thank you and goodbye.